During the biggest week in professional wrestling, AEW decided to make some noise of their own, and that's by announcing the backstage footage from AEW All In will be shown on AEW Dynamite, and the Young Bucks will be there to narrate it and discuss it live this week. And I got to be completely honest with you guys. I think it is absolutely funny that this is even a topic. I think this is even a thing that we got to discuss. It is becoming widely debated, and I think a lot of people are really just tired of all of the drama. But I've been very serious about pretty much everything I've said, from All Out to All In. Any backstage fights that happen, it doesn't really matter who's involved. They should all be fired. If one person is suspended, the other person should be suspended. If one person is fired, the other person should be fired. I've remained with that sentiment this entire time, and I'll never change my mind on it. But of course, CM Punk was fired and Jack Perry was suspended. And then, of course, AEW never really capitalized off of it. They never capitalized off of any of the drama that takes place in their company. The people in charge seem to never want to do it while they're in the company. And then Ring of Honor had their media scrum after their pay-per-view Friday. And when asked about it, they were pretty clear on Tony Khan's not talking about it, right? So Tony Khan won't respond to the comments made by CM Punk, but instead what they're going to do is show the footage. Now, let's just say this footage makes CM Punk look bad. Because it could. It very well could. It could make CM Punk look like a liar. From his comments on Ariel Helwani to the footage being shown, CM Punk might get exposed. And then I realized something. If you're a fan of CM Punk, he's not in AEW. You don't care. And if you like AEW and you hate CM Punk, you're probably still watching AEW as it stands, and you probably don't care. Now, the reality is, Tony Khan is doing this to get ratings. That's completely fine. It is what it is. That's what he wants to do. He wants to get people to watch his product. That's the way he's going to go about it. When speaking with Sports Illustrated, Tony Khan says for his decision to air it, AEW has a great track record on delivering what we advertise, and it is real footage. The Young Bucks will show backstage footage from All In, the most important event in AEW history, yada, 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 81,000 tickets, yada, yada, yada. He also then goes on to say the decision is based on putting on the best show for AEW, as well as driving interest for Dynamite and our Dynasty pay-per-view. This is real-life footage that affected many people, and it will air for the first time on TBS during Dynamite. Cool. Tony Khan is flat out telling you guys he is doing this as a way to get you to watch his product. Guys, we're not talking about a child. We're not talking about a teenager. We're not talking about a young adult who is, just like an everyday person. We're talking about somebody who is a billionaire wrestling promoter. Now, people are going to disagree with me on this, and I don't care. If this wasn't AEW and it was any other company, I will 1,000% stand on business. I think it is stupid to focus on the drama. 1,000%. Tony Khan. 2024 AEW is feeling like the best AEW since 2021. It actually feels like AEW. And it's crazy to me that you bring in Will Ospreay, Okada, Mercedes Moné, Adam Copeland. You are assembling an incredible roster. And you are focused on drama that took place last year. What? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Even if CM Punk looks stupid, this doesn't help at all. I said this several years ago, and I stay true to my word. When you are booking your show to appease a very small percentage of the people who actually enjoy your product, you will alienate the people who enjoy your product. If all you do is put focus on negative energy and the negative stories and the negative drama, the fans will only talk about that and they will talk less about your product. It is 2024, and this is still something that I see firsthand in AEW. Really? It's shocking to me. Now, do I want to see the footage? Of course. But I already watch AEW. This footage ain't going to make me a fan of AEW. If anything, it could probably make me less of a fan of AEW, depending on what they show. If I see Tony Khan not being a leader in that footage, you know, if I see a lack of leadership in that clip, if I see an unorganized background thing, like unorganized backstage environment, I might even be less thrilled. But as far as picking sides between Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and frickin' CM Punk, you think I care about that? The minds are already made up. I know you probably want to bring Jack Perry onto TV. You want to probably bring him back and bring the scapegoat character. I mean, I think his character sucks, but I'm also in the minority. I've been saying Jungle Boy was a way better character. I also said Jurassic Express was a way better thing for Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. Those were some really good times in AEW. I don't think this new Jack Perry gimmick is cool at all. Also, CM Punk is in WWE, and I think for CM Punk, we're all waiting to see if he has any issues backstage in WWE. Let's not pretend we didn't act like for the last 10 years CM Punk was not problematic in wrestling. Let's not pretend that, okay? Let's pretend that hasn't happened. So ultimately, it doesn't matter. Did CM Punk beat the hell out of Jack Perry? If he did, he did, right? I don't think people are going to be like, oh, I love AEW now just because of it. It's just silly. To me, it's just silly. I think it's funny. Now, is it a smart business decision? Yes, it is. Like in terms of like the physical business aspect of it, in terms of like ratings and stuff, I do think it is going to bring people in. However, we have seen time and time again in the last 5 years that Tony Khan is willing to do things to pop the crowd once, and then the next week things fall apart. So at the end of the day, to get the ratings for 1 week, for sure, it's going to do that. I think it's going to bring people in, but I don't care about ratings either. So to me, this, you know, why get so off of focus? You're not laser focused on your product. It is evidently clear that is the case. This footage, you know, you're better off just putting it online. That's where half your audience lives, sleeps, and breathes. You know, at the end of the day, I would take it off, not put it on TV, and you know, what can you do, bro? What can you do? Tony Khan, he's admitting that he's doing this to increase ratings. So it is what it is. But I think people already made up their minds. I think people who hate AEW will never like AEW. I think AEW has, if anything, this could backfire more. How they present it. Do they look professional while doing it? And there's a reason why they're having heel characters narrate it. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. It is what it is. I think it's silly. Every time something's going well in AEW, here we are talking about the drama. And AEW wants you to talk about the drama. And I get it. No press is bad press as long as you're getting press, right? Well, unfortunately with AEW, every time negativity strikes, there's that doom and gloom, that dark cloud following it. It seems like people start to move away from it. And at a time where WWE is doing so well and there's so much wrestling happening, I think it's just more negative than positive. And I feel like when you bring in Mercedes and Okada and Ospreay and all these talented people, I think the focus should be on them and the roster that you're building out and the product that you've been putting out. Not something that happened last year. But hey, what do I know, guys? I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire, and I don't run a wrestling company. So maybe I don't know shit. But I don't know. I definitely look forward to seeing what all those numbers look like for a month after. I look forward to seeing how this really is a game changer for AEW, because that's what people are telling me.